Sabah everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I have for you my review of the NextGadget 1080p wireless security camera. This camera is under $40, currently running about $35.99 on Amazon. Again, the link in the description below. But the main benefit of this, it records at 1080p, it records in MP4 format. Not only that, you can also actually have night mode and positioning of the camera. This actually has the ability of moving the lens to wherever you want to be able to do it. Not only that, set 5 different presets to be able to snap to positions right away. This is TK. I want to say thank you very much to NextGadget for allowing me to check out this camera, but let's go ahead and check it out. I want to see how good this camera can actually record. The box is very simple. It just says IP camera, Android, iOS, and Windows compatibility. I'm going to be testing it for you guys obviously today on iOS as well as Android. I've tested those really nice. This is an IP camera, so it should be configured the same way. Now once we open up the box, the camera itself is right there. You'll notice here's the night sensors to be able to get the night vision going on, the main sensor as well, and an LED light. There's also another LED right here at the base. This is totally positionable, so you can able to put it in the right position. And there's also a speaker here. Hopefully you guys can see that. And that's going to give you the ability to speak through it. So there's two-way audio going on. You can turn it on and listen as well as talk. We have an antenna positioned in the back for 2.4 gigahertz connection. There is the power connection reset in case you do need to reset it. And then of course a full Ethernet port to be able to get the best connection on it if you don't have Wi-Fi capabilities. And a micro SD card slot. Now I have my SD card in here because I've been using this, but it does not come with one. So just make sure you have one separate. Recommended is a class 4 or higher as this is recording 1080p in MP4 format. We have a mounting kit to be able to position this, put it on the wall, set it up, and you are able to reposition the camera orientation within the application depending on how you position it. So if you ever have to install it upside down, you can always, of course, do a reverse on the camera. Proprietary cable, and again, this will plug into the back through the calibration setup. Once you turn it on, every time it'll go through this calibration, and then it'll position itself back to position 0. Now, looking over the application, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through this real quick. The main home screen is right here. We'll go in here. So you have the message tab, which gives you access to information. So I'm going to say login again. I did log in from one application to the other. If you log into, let's say, the Android side, or you log into the iOS side, it will disconnect you from the other. You'll notice right there it says my Pixel 2 XL. I'm just saying logging in, and it's going to log me back in here. Messages are direct messages from this camera to me, and of course there's a news feed for them for the information on their end. Going home gives us access to the camera. You'll notice it has a preview. I do have the time and date turned on this, and it says Netcam 1. Clicking the 3 dots right here gives us access to cloud storage, which I don't have, but it does have a 3-month subscription free if you'd like to check it out. The SD record, I can click this, and it will give access to the SD card options here. You'll notice there's there's a motion detection here, which I turned on, as well as a camera recording back for about a minute on the right here. I can actually select the recording itself. I can show the motion sensing on it, and it'll go ahead and download it directly from the camera over the Wi-Fi. Now this also, of course, will work outside, and this is when I came in and I was disconnecting the camera. Again, I can download this. I can go more into settings. Under the settings, it gives us information about the camera. Wi-Fi connection, this is where I'll be able to set it up. We'll go back. Password install, that's basically the password to this, and the password by default is on the back of your camera. So when you open it up, just look at the back of the camera. It'll give you the password for it, and you can change it. Firmware, it did come in with one firmware update, and I did push that through. It did not come with the 5 gigahertz firmware. It's just an update to the camera sensor. Device volume, you can configure the microphone as well as the speaker. So in case it gets too loud, you can set that up. And of course, rebooting it. Next option we have here is night mode automatic, or you can turn it on, so you can close and you can say automatic. Horizontal mirror and vertical mirror, which means that if you position it upside down, it's going to come in. So this is going to be kind of confusing as it's actually still giving you that preview. Let's go ahead and position it straight to, how you doing? Yeah. What we're looking at here is obviously the light mode right here is indoors, and of course you can change that to be outdoor mode. It is recommended to be an indoor camera, or if you do position it outside, do not put it in a place where it will get wet. This is not weatherproofed. Brightness and contrast, of course. SD card option, we have motion recording right now. As you saw, there was a motion sensing, and it'll show that with that little running man. And you have the sensitivity from low, medium, or high. And of course, you can add the schedule, recording sound. By default, this one was off. You do need to turn that on for it to record audio with your video. Last but not least, notification type is client, and then of course motion detection alarm. You can turn that on and then go in here and set up the same thing. It'll notify you. On the client side, and I'm going to actually start looking at you guys because we're going to be looking at the camera. So if I position this here and I click directly and go into the camera, we're going to get a few options that give us control over the camera. We have the little snap button here that will take pictures. This is a video button initiating a video recording, so let's go ahead and start one now. Go ahead and turn on night mode. Night mode on this camera is actually very functional because you can move the camera. The main thing you want to be aware of, there's a green LED that's right there at the dead center. We cannot turn that off. And of course, the array of lights, the infrared sensor or the night sensing lights are going to turn on automatically. There's about 10, maybe 5 to 10 second delay between turning from day mode to night mode. So it doesn't snap on right away, but once it recognizes that the light is gone, it turns on and it actually looks pretty good. You guys can tell me, of course, since you're going to be watching this. And again, it does record in MP4. And you'll notice right there, it gives us the actual speed of the connection directly over our Wi-Fi, and it is recording at 1920 by 1080p. You are able to go full screen, which gives you a full nice view of the actual camera itself. You'll notice my monitor. It does kind of warp a little bit the image on the edge. You'll notice my monitor looks a little bit odd, so it has somewhat of a fisheye lens. Let's go ahead and go, and then of course we can just do the positions here. I had different positions set up, so let's go ahead and do position 1. You can see right there at position 2. Position 3. Now these weren't set here. These were set in a different position. So let's go ahead and go back out. I'll go back into the main position. I am going to be positioning it real quick just to kind of get the camera angle correct. Let's go ahead and put it back in here. Again, we can listen to it. We can also use the microphone to talk through it. Other than that, I think it's pretty simple. You can add your additional cameras right there. The setup of the account is pretty easy. Account and security, username and password. Again, just set up an account. And you can log in for multiple devices, just one at a time. Under the settings, we have the camera display mode and auto display video, so only over Wi-Fi. And of course, thumbnail. So if you're connected over Wi-Fi, it gives you a live preview, which is what we saw here. So if we go back into the main side, it's always going to give us a live preview. Even though I'm not in the camera, it's actually giving us a live preview right away. So the main benefit here is this camera is actually really inexpensive and very much budget friendly. You can actually pick up a couple of those cameras and set them up. The interface is very simple. It works on Android or iOS. Overall, very nice. SD support, cloud support. You can download the content directly to your device. You can also view it. You can take pictures. That preset option was extremely helpful, especially with cameras like these, because moving them and getting them to the right position to see where you want to look at is sometimes cumbersome because it's more of a gesture movement. And when you had that preset, as I showed you guys, it snaps into the position right away. Thanks to the Next Gadget for allowing me to check out this camera. Like and subscribe as usual. Check out the link in the description below. They are running a $4 coupon on their website, and as well as which is basically the Amazon store. But they also sometimes run promotion codes that they put on the main page at the Amazon link. So check the link in the description below for the best price. But again, currently $35.99 at the US store for Amazon. Like and subscribe as usual. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video.